We have all experienced it. A long day leads to a minor friction, which quickly escalates into an argument. Before you can stop yourself, you are using harsh, irreversible words against your partner, your child, or your parent. Then comes the cool down. Hours later, the adrenaline is gone and a deep regret takes its place. You find them, lower your voice, and offer the standard apology. You say you are sorry. In this moment, we rely on a specific psychological assumption that the word sorry works like an emotional eraser. We believe that a sincere apology resets the relationship and returns it to its original pristine state. But an apology only addresses the immediate tension of the argument. It ignores the permanent structural damage left behind by the words themselves. To understand the impact of anger, imagine driving a thick iron nail into a smooth wooden fence. That is the act of speaking in rage. Offering an apology is like taking the claw of the hammer and pulling that thick nail back out. The nail is gone, but the wood is no longer whole. A jagged, splintered hole remains in the grain, and no amount of smoothing or apologizing can make the wood what it was before. Emotional scars work the same way. The apology removes the immediate source of pain, but the memory of the outburst remains, permanently changing how that person looks at you. Trust is built over years, like an architectural foundation. These nail holes create microscopic fractures in that foundation. They weaken the very thing that keeps the relationship standing. When enough scar tissue forms, the behavior of your loved ones changes. They begin walking on eggshells. They stop being honest or vulnerable because they are trying to avoid triggering your next outburst. This creates a contradiction. We use harsh words to gain control of a situation, but in doing so, we destroy the safety that allows a relationship to function. This pattern forces us to ask a difficult question. Why do we choose to inflict this kind of permanent damage on the people we care about most? To find the answer, we have to look past the other person's mistakes and find the true trigger of our rage. Imagine you are rowing a boat across a foggy lake. Suddenly, another vessel hits you. Your first reaction is anger. If you assume someone is steering that boat, you assume they hit you on purpose. You lash out at the perceived attacker. But if the fog clears and you see the boat is empty, that it just drifted into you, the anger disappears. You cannot be angry at an object that has no intent. Our loved ones are often just like that empty boat. Their minor mistakes aren't planned attacks. They are simply drifting into our space. The rage we feel usually has nothing to do with them. It comes from what we are already carrying: stress from work, exhaustion, or personal frustrations that we haven't dealt with. We snap at our families because they are the closest, safest targets for the chaos we are already feeling inside. Once you realize the trigger is internal, the goal changes. You stop trying to give better apologies and start preventing the damage before it happens. This means mastering the gap. This is the tiny window of time between someone bothering you and you choosing how to respond. You can use physical tactics to widen this gap. If you feel your anger spiking while you are standing, immediately sit down. This simple move disrupts the physical momentum of your rage. If sitting doesn't work, lie down. By changing your posture, you are forcing your nervous system to settle, which makes it harder for the brain to maintain an aggressive state. Changing your physical position short-circuits the fight-or-flight response. It buys you the seconds you need to put the hammer down before you drive another nail into the fence. There is one final, difficult choice you can make within that gap: absolute silence. During a conflict, we often feel that staying quiet means we are losing the argument or giving in. In reality, remaining silent requires more self-control than shouting does. It shows that you are governed by your own will, not by a reactive instinct. Choosing silence over a sharp retort ensures that the person you love doesn't have to carry a new scar simply because you had a bad day. It proves that their safety is more important to you than your own ego.